Well, it was either this or middle school the worst years of my life. The Birth of a Nation. The Birth of a Nation is a new movie starring, directed by, and written by Nate Parker, and this movie won a ton of awards at the Sundance Film Festival this past January, but then, in the past month or 2 months, some controversies kind of come out about one of the stars of the movie. So, in this case, I'm going to separate the art from the artist and just talk about the movie. No controversy whatsoever being discussed in this review. Let's just talk about the movie. And in the movie, you have Nate Parker playing Nat Turner, and Nat Turner is this intelligent guy. He's a preacher, and he's a slave on this plantation. And eventually, in the course of the movie, he realizes that, like, hey, I'm not a huge fan of what's going on in this plantation. Some of the other people around me aren't huge fans of it either. Let's show the white people, the ones who own us, what's really going on and how we're people too. And that's kind of the course of the movie, is you see Nat Turner's change from this well-respected guy, this very intelligent person, somebody who grew up and knows the slave owners, to somebody who's now rebelling against them, to somebody who wants to prove that he's a different person than he was. And this movie is kind of a mixed bag for me. I know it won all those awards at Sundance. It got rave reviews. That's awesome. But for me, it was okay. Now, one of the pros of the movie is that the setting worked really well to the movie's advantage, and that sounds kind of weird because, I mean, this movie has to be set in the 1800s, but some movies set back in time don't always work. They can feel kind of boring. Something like The Crucible I really can't get into just because it just feels so disconnected from the present, but this movie feels like the characters are talking as normal people would. It's one of those University of the Human Condition type of things where you can watch the movie and you can feel like these are people talking, these are people who want to just overcome the obstacles in their life, so I really like that. But the thing I didn't like about the movie is really Nat Turner's character. The character played by Nate Parker just wasn't that interesting to me, because I like the time period he's set in, I like the plantation that he's on, I like seeing everything going on, like how the government, or not government, just how the hierarchy of this plantation works, what's kind of going on, how everybody's interacting. But him as a person just didn't fascinate me that much. I mean, the movie is about his transition from this, like, good guy, from him being just this intelligent, well-respected guy, into this just complete guy who's leading the revolt. He's completely against the slave owners at that point, but he grew up and he was friends with one of them. And seeing that change from friends with a slave owner to hating a slave owner could have been super interesting, but the movie barely even shows it. At one point, he's, like, talking to the slave owner, then at one point, he doesn't like him anymore. So I wish the movie highlighted that change a little bit more for me. But all the non-Nat Turner characters are good. Like, he's a love interest in the movie, and at first you're like, is this gonna work? And it winds up working really well. The actual plantation owner, I think his name is Sam Turner, is very good in the movie. Nat Turner's mom is very good in the movie. I think his grandmother's in the movie too. And overall, those characters are all good. I think they added to the, kind of family feel on the plantation. So I like them in the movie. I like all the characters. I think that Nat Turner could have been improved a little bit, but I do like the setting of the movie. I feel like if Nate Parker had a little bit more, like, directing under his belt, then he probably could have executed a little bit more of an efficient movie. But since this is his first movie, I'm gonna give him a pass. I do think this movie overall was decent. I mean, it could have been an above average movie, but it's no 12 Years a Slave. It's not even like a Django Unchained. I don't think it was as great as a movie like this could have been. It didn't show as much emotion or as much grit as a movie like this could have. It was gratuitous, but I mean, it didn't really show, like, the grit of, human, or humanhood, whatever I'm trying to say. So at the end of the day, I'm going to give The Birth of a Nation a B. If you guys are in the mood for something that's kind of warming you up for Oscar season, but probably won't get considered for that many Oscars, Birth of a Nation is there for you, and this movie's going to get shown in U.S. history classes. But guys, those are just my thoughts on The Birth of a Nation. Be sure to leave your thoughts in the comment section down below. You guys can go over to mymoviethoughts.com for more posts from me. You guys can go over to Twitter and follow me. I'm at John M. Hayeck. You guys can subscribe to this YouTube channel as well. Links to all three of those are in the description down below. Like this video, comment on it, share it around with some friends. I'm John Hayeck, and as always, thank you guys so much for watching.